Good. Hang on, she's cleaning something up. There we go. Smithville Board of Aldermen is now called to order. Please stand and join Alderman Kabilski in the pledge.
States of America.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Got a motion to approve the consent agenda. Alderman Ulital. Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
I don't have a coin to flip. Give it to Kelly. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? There's Dan. All opposed? So Alderman Chevalier is going to abstain. All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Planning and zoning, you missed meeting. Jack, we're at 50-something building permit still, right? No commercial, but you did get a permit for Napa, which if you haven't driven north on 169 from downtown, you can't miss it. It's bright blue. It says Napa. Yeah, well, it's kind of like a faded red. It's kind of getting, yeah. So that's underway. Anything else of importance? Yeah. Yeah, 35 million commercial. Good number. And I think staff, I don't know if it's in Cynthia's report or not, got to take a tour of the $32 million worth of it yesterday. So I'll leave that for her. The next finance committee, Alderman Hartman or Alderman Russell, do you want to take that one?
I certainly can, Mayor.
Go for it.
Yep. So we obviously went over 2 months of reconciled checks because we didn't meet the previous month. We also obviously went over the 9-month plan and review that we discussed earlier this evening in work session. And then we got a chance to see the next year's budget and have some feedback on that overall. So real excited about Stephen and the work he's done, as well as the staff. Hopefully that's what you're looking for, Mayor.
Thank you. City Administrator's report. Ms. Wagner, do you have anything to add to your report?
Excuse me. I do want to highlight the information on the TIF Commission appointment process. There was a memo included in your packet from Megan Miller with Gilmore and Bell. Unless you all have any concerns, the mayor will be signing that executive order tomorrow, the executive agreement tomorrow. We can proceed in that process. As the mayor indicated, members of management team had the opportunity to tour the CPC facility yesterday morning. That is an impressive facility. They have not, as Jack indicated, they had final inspection for temporary occupancy today. And that went well. They have not started the grow process yet. So we just got to see the shell of the building and the infrastructure in it, which is very large, massive, and incredibly impressive. Good information for all of staff to have in thinking about the way that works. And we were able to ask a lot of questions of their staff on kind of the processes, how things work, but then thinking through processing of bill payments and those sort of things. One of the things when the amendment was passed a few years ago, we had concern about cash management and cash flow. They do not pay in cash. They are able to find financial institutions that will provide that. So there's some things that had been rumors or concerns, so they allayed a number of our fears as well. So it was a good tour, and I think educational for all of staff. I did want to highlight a couple of other things. Well, I guess I highlighted earlier in our work session about the aerator for the water treatment plant that is back ordered. So we'll make adjustments to projects as necessary on that. And wanted to acknowledge Festival this past weekend. We do anticipate or do estimate that this was probably one of the largest crowds, if not the largest crowd by a pretty significant amount on the downtown. We are estimating between 5,000 and 6,000 ish, not sure on that. It came off actually remarkably well for that large of a crowd. No, there were some issues. The police department, I believe, is going to be reaching out to the organizer and thinking through some changes for enhancements in the future as plans may evolve on that. But it was a good evening. It was a hot evening, but it had a few minor instances, but we're able to continue through. So
How were the medical calls? Were there, I didn't see anything.
I don't believe there were medical calls, chief, with us not running those, don't know. We had a number, not a number, we had probably a half dozen kids separated from parents, 4. And we had a few small altercations and there was one arrest. Not an arrest, as a call, I'm sorry. Okay.
Four children lost their parents. Their parents were, and somebody lost their wallet.
Yep.
And they found it. And then the rain today, this morning, washed away all the chalk art, which is, you know, we're not perfect about that. So.
I had nothing but positive feedback on it from
Good.
everyone I talked to, so it was a
Good.
success.
Good. It was a fun evening. It was.
It does take a while to get your food though, if you go into a restaurant when there's 5,000 people outside.
Yes, it does.
the-
Even if
the
you're
whole
standing
city needs
outside
to
to
know
get your food.
Line and you stand in it and people don't know what they're ordering.
And you're watching them
And
cook
takes
it.
time.
Everybody's waiting for their food and nobody's getting their food. It's probably going to take a minute to get your food.
Got it. Note,
Good
noted.
tip, duly noted.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, everybody's rock and rolling. Yeah.
I just called for pizza delivery. It's
So
easier.
You had to kill a couple more cows.
It was mostly pork and chips. I killed a lot of chips. Lots.
Yeah, cheese. You had a cheese delivery.
I had a cheese.
I had to give
del-
directions for a cheese delivery.
I had a cheese delivery. I had a chip delivery. Yeah, there was a lot.
How do I get into downtown
food.
for cheese?
A lot of food went out of downtown Smithville on Saturday night.
And sushi and everything. There's all the
All kinds.
all
of
the
stuff.
businesses.
And all the food groups too.
Yeah. The shaved ice food group.
Sure.
Anything
Also,
else?
That's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Leftover cupcakes were delivered as well, so we're all going to be nice and sugar high. Next item on the agenda is number 6. Alderman Ulital.
Motion to approve bill number 2952-22, readopt the code of ethics, second reading.
Thank you. Alderman Russell.
A second.
Any discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Chevalier.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
Alderman Ulital,
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
To find the bill, sorry. An ordinance amending chapter 135 of the Code of Ordinances.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is number 7. Alderman Hartman.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for bill number 2953-22, terms of office for the mayor and alderman, second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, some discussion on this. When we first discussed this earlier, I personally said I would agree to this if we were able to do term limits. And last meeting, talking with city council, the term limit piece was not available, would not be available in this. So just wanted to bring that up there.
Thank you. Any other discussions?
Yeah, I'll just say, I mean, a lot of the feedback I've gotten from folks is that without a term limits, I mean, they're not gonna I don't know if this is gonna go, but I mean,
Let the voters vote.
let the voters vote, yeah.
That's up to the voters.
Anything else? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Russell,
No.
Alderman Atkins,
Yes.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Chevalier.
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski,
Aye.
Alderman Ulital.
Aye.
5-1.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Smithville, Missouri, increasing the term of office for said mayor and Board of Aldermen from 2 years to 4 years and calling for the question regarding the length of the term of office for the mayor and for the Board of Aldermen to be placed on the November 8th, 2022 election ballot.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is number 8. Alderman Ulital.
Motion to approve bill number 2955-22, amending section 225.090, smoking in city parks, first reading.
Thank you. And I think Alderman Russell had his hand up next.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have one thing, just on this, how is it going to be enforced and who's going to be enforcing this?
Mr. Denton, you're still online. You are responsible for parks and brought this up to Parks Board. Sure.
Yeah, I think we're enforcing it is not kind of what we're doing. We basically want to deter, as much as possible and be able to have the signage to kind of deter a lot of the smoking in popular areas. We do have signs now around playgrounds and where we sit for ball fields. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but the ultimate goal is to try to deter as much as possible.
Okay, Matt, thank you.
I figured it'd probably be complaint-based more than anything else.
Complaint-based, and I think as well, peer enforcement. People feel more comfortable calling someone out for something that is a behavior that makes them uncomfortable if there's a sign.
Yes. That's one thing that was brought up at Parks Board often is if there's a sign to point to, it helps with peer enforcement and even our umpires and ball coordinators and everything else. So. Awesome. Any other discussion?
Is there, I don't know, I mean, as far as the enforcement, I get, the challenges with that, but I mean, is there a way maybe, while we're rolling this out more broadly, I guess, is there a way we can just have like some days we're out there, there's people out there looking at it, and then just give them some reminders to folks? I mean, is that an option? Maybe some.
Yeah, that'd
targeted
definitely be an
enforcement
option.
dates?
Were you guys able to get your ticket?
Put it on the back of the umpire's shirt. Just a reminder, don't smoke while we're playing ball.
I can fly a banner
Well, and I
on the
think one of
drum.
the things we can do also is in coaches' meetings, at the beginning of every season, remind them of the rules so that they can get that out. And as we have sign up and kind of create an informational campaign as well, that our fields are smoke-free. And so reminder and maybe, like Matt said, be out, and you had indicated, be out there first seasons, games and the like.
Sounds great.
Is there any designated smoking places, say, you can't smoke here in the park, but you can go, we don't want to point them in, I guess we don't want to point them in the wrong direction next to wherever it's at, right? To say you can go somewhere else or,
Currently, that's what this amendment is. Currently, our parks do have designated areas and we're removing those.
okay.
Correct.
Yep.
Right, correct.
Makes it consistent. Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Kibelski,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
Alderman Chevalier.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Ulital.
Aye.
Alderman Atkins.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance amending section 225.090 to include a regulation stating that smoking is prohibited at all indoor and outdoor parks and facilities except at individual campsites, at the campground, or as allowed by permit issued by the Board of Aldermen.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is number 9. Alderman Ulital.
Motion to approve bill number 2956-22, budget amendment number 5, first reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Atkins. Alderman Chevalier.
Aye.
Alderman Ulital,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
Alderman Kavil. Aye. Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance amending the fiscal year 2022 operating budget to add $200,000 to the expenditure budget and $15,000 to the revenue budget.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is number 10.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I do have to step out for this resolution, so I'm gonna go ahead and step away.
Okey dokey. Enjoy your skiing. Next, Alderman Ulital.
Motion to approve resolution 1101 final plat, Hildebrand Estates.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All
I,
yeah.
I have one discussion here just about this, and it's, I guess the question is there any, do we foresee any need for that property city-wise in the future because of its location? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor of approving resolution 1101, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Public comment? None? Rainy day. Nobody wants to come to the meeting except Stone. And David's back there too, but he has something on the agenda, so. Any new business? Alderman
Mayor?
Hartman.
Yes, sir. Over the last few weeks, it's come to my attention through two different individuals about wanting to build ADUs on existing property. And with our current ordinance and current zoning, it does not allow for that. In the case of this particular individual moving from California who had an ADU next to them, they wanted to potentially build an ADU on the same lot. They were not able to, and so they would have had to purchase the lot next door in order to do so. In looking at our comprehensive plan, it is one of the excerpts, and it lists it as exploring incorporating accessory dwelling units as part of Smithfield's housing policy. And so I'd like to see if there's additional board that would like to see Jack and our city staff kind of accelerate that and potentially change the ordinance.
Jack, I know this is on your list somewhere. As part of the comprehensive plan updates.
We have kind of started the work, but it calls for a SWOT analysis.
Hang on a second.
It calls for a SWOT analysis that we have to get prepped for, to go to the planning commission first and then go from there to see where, what, how. So it sounds like to me, it would be a great project over the winter when there's not as many.
A little bit of fall ball,
Yeah, a fall ball
October,
project.
November type of thing.
But yes, we have it on our radar. We've been working on rough stuff of it.
Okay. Any other new business? Alderman Hartman, you're not here, but I left everybody a copy of the history of Smithfield, Missouri, 1880 to 1899. You'll get yours when you get back, but it's a good read. So enjoy.
Looking forward to reading it.
There you go. Any other discussion? New business, nothing. We need to adjourn to executive session, so I'll need a motion to adjourn to executive with all the numbers. So who wants to read that one? Alderman Ulital?
Motion to adjourn to executive session pursuant to 610.021, 1 and 2 RSMO.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you.
Wow.
Good timing, Linda. Please call roll. Kelly.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Udo. Golly.
Do you eat one of those cupcakes?
Alderman Ulital. Oh, my.
Sounds like.
Alderman Chevalier,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski. 6-0.
Stand adjourned to executive session. We will clear the galley. No more sugary cake prior to Linda's meeting. Oh, there's red lights going on outside. Testing them out.